The history of the prehistoric artistic movement. Ready for a surprising journey to the origin of human art? Discover with us the secrets of prehistoric art, from mystical caves to ancestral megaliths, where each work is a window to the life and thought of our ancestors. Chapter 1. The Awakening of Prehistoric Art. At the dawn of humanity, artistic expression was born as an echo of the growing complexity of the human brain. This awakening of prehistoric art is mainly manifested through cave paintings and the first decorated objects, elements that highlight the emerging symbolic cognition of Homo sapiens. Caves became canvases, and pigments extracted from the earth became the medium to capture visions, dreams, and daily experiences. The paintings were not mere representations. Each stroke was a dialogue between man and his world, a visual narrative that sought to understand, explain, or invoke aspects of his environment. The most famous caves, like Lascaux in France and Altamira in Spain, reveal a rich tapestry of images that include wild animals, human figures, and abstract symbols. These sites are treasures of prehistory, each with its style and theme. Animals, for example, were painted with striking realism, suggesting deep knowledge and observation. Human figures, on the other hand, were often schematic or symbolic, perhaps indicating a different intention, possibly magical or ritualistic. In addition to paintings, the first decorated objects offer another window into the prehistoric mind. Tools, weapons, and even everyday objects were embellished with engravings or inlays. These decorations, beyond their aesthetic function, could have served to denote status, tribal identity, or spiritual beliefs. The variety and geographical dispersion of these objects suggests the diffusion and evolution of artistic ideas across different cultures and regions. Prehistoric art, therefore, is much more than the manifestation of a primitive aesthetic impulse. It represents the emergence of the human capacity to symbolize, abstract, and communicate. These first artistic expressions marked not only the beginning of art as we know it, but also a crucial point in the cognitive and cultural development of our species. In each ochre stroke and each line engraved on stone, lay the foundation of the complex web of human civilization. Chapter 2. The Magic in the Rocks. The magic in the rocks, the fascinating world of cave paintings, extends beyond mere artistic manifestations. They are time capsules that reveal the rich tapestry of life and beliefs of our prehistoric ancestors. Sites like Lascaux in France and Altamira in Spain are not just decorated caves, but sanctuaries of a lost culture, having transcended thousands of years to reach us. These paintings, with their intricate detail and vibrant vitality, suggest a purpose beyond simple decoration or representation of daily life. The precision in the representation of animals, from bison to horses and deer, reveals not only profound knowledge of these creatures but also a spiritual and symbolic connection with them. The arrangement and choice of themes in these caves suggest they might have been places for rituals or teachings. Some theories propose that the caves were sacred spaces where hunting rituals, initiation ceremonies, or myths and knowledge were transmitted. The repetition of certain symbols, such as dots, lines, and geometric shapes, could indicate a symbolic language, perhaps related to cosmological beliefs or star maps. Additionally, the location of some of these paintings in hard-to-reach areas suggests they were not for everyday enjoyment, but for specific and possibly sacred moments. The technique employed in these paintings is also noteworthy. Prehistoric artists used natural pigments, like ochre, charcoal, and hematite, mixed with substances like animal fat or water. These pigments were applied with fingers, feathers, branches, or even by blowing color through tubes. The use of light and shadow, and the choice of surfaces with natural reliefs to give a sense of three-dimensionality, denote advanced knowledge and artistic skill. These cave paintings are more than art. They are a portal to the minds and spirits of our ancestors. Each image is a story, a fragment of an ancient world that tells us how humanity began to interpret and document its existence. By studying these sites, we not only discover the origin of art but also better understand the evolution of human thought, its ability to symbolize, and the importance of art in building communities and cultures. Chapter 3. The Symbolism of the First Objects. The symbolism of the first objects in prehistory, especially in the Paleolithic, represents a crucial facet in understanding hunter-gatherer societies. These objects, including the famous Paleolithic Venus figurines, are more than mere decorative figures. They are cultural capsules offering a unique perspective on the beliefs, rituals, and social structures of that time. The Paleolithic Venus figurines, found across Europe and Eurasia, are statuettes of women carved in stone, bone, or ivory. Often, these figures feature exaggerated characteristics, like large breasts, wide hips, and swollen bellies, suggesting a relationship with fertility, motherhood, or reproductive rights. In addition to the Venus figurines, there are other decorated artifacts whose function and meaning are the subjects of study and interpretation. Tools, weapons, and even everyday elements were frequently adorned with engravings, representing animals, geometric patterns, or scenes that could have symbolic or ritual meanings. These decorations not only fulfilled an aesthetic function but could also indicate the bearer's status, belonging to a specific group or role within society. The variety in styles and themes suggests a rich cultural diversity and possibly communication between different groups and regions. The technique used in creating these objects is also worthy of mention. Prehistoric artists used rudimentary tools to sculpt, polish, and engrave these objects, demonstrating remarkable skill and profound knowledge of materials. The precision and detail of these works challenge the notion of primitive art, revealing instead a sophistication and well-defined purpose. The study of these early objects is essential to understanding the roots of artistic and symbolic expression in humanity. They provide evidence not only of our ancestors' technical skills and aesthetic sensibilities but also offer a window into their belief systems and social structures. In every Venus and in every engraving, stories of life, spirituality, and community are interwoven, forming a complex narrative of the first human societies and their relationship with the world around them. Chapter 4. The Footprints of Man in Nature. In prehistoric art, stone and bone sculpture emerge as powerful manifestations of the relationship between humans and their environment. These sculptures, found in different regions, offer a direct vision of how human beings saw, understood, and related to animals and their surroundings. Representations of mammoths, horses, bison, and other animals not only demonstrate detailed knowledge of these creatures but could also reflect their importance in the cosmology and subsistence of prehistoric groups. Human figures, on the other hand, are less frequent but equally significant. Often sculpted in dynamic poses or in situations suggesting activity, these figures could represent hunting scenes, rituals, or aspects of daily life. The ability to represent both human anatomy and that of animals with a notable degree of realism or stylization indicates not only artistic skill but also deep observance and understanding of nature. These works also reflect a symbiosis between man and his environment. The selection of materials, such as bones and stones, shows a use of natural resources that went beyond mere survival, entering the realm of the symbolic and spiritual. The use of bones from hunted animals or stones collected from specific places could have given these sculptures additional value, linked to the properties or history of those materials. Stone and bone sculptures of prehistoric art are not just artifacts of a bygone era. They are testimonies to the deep connection and respect that primitive human beings had for the natural world. These works allow us to better understand how the first artists interpreted their surroundings and how they integrated them into their lives and beliefs. Through these remnants, we see not only the reflection of a lost world but also the foundations of our ongoing relationship with nature and its representation in art. Chapter 5. Abstract Expression and its Meaning. Prehistoric art is characterized not only by realistic representations of animals and human figures but also by its fascinating abstraction. Often found in caves, objects, and even on painted bodies, these patterns can range from simple lines and dots to complex spirals and geometric shapes. The recurrence of these designs suggests they had significant meaning, possibly associated with rituals, mythic narratives, or identification with a group or territory. One theory proposes that these abstract patterns were a form of symbolic language, a way of communicating complex ideas or transmitting knowledge. For example, sequences of dots or lines could represent counts, astronomical maps, or even musical scores. Other patterns, especially those found on ceremonial objects or in burial sites, could be related to spiritual beliefs or rites of passage. This abstraction is not only a testament to our ancestors' creative capacity, but also their ability to use symbols to represent abstract concepts. In studying these patterns, researchers also consider the context in which they were created. The location of these works, their relationship with other artistic or archaeological elements, and even the process of their creation all contribute to our understanding of their meaning. For instance, patterns found in common areas of the cave might have a different purpose than those in more secluded or sacred locations. Similarly, the technique used, whether engraving, painting, or sculpture, could also influence their interpretation. Abstract expression in prehistoric art is a rich and complex field, full of mysteries yet to be solved. These patterns and shapes not only show us the artistic ability of early humans, but also their capacity to think symbolically and express ideas that go beyond the tangible. Through this art, we can glimpse an aspect of prehistory that transcends time, offering us a unique connection with the minds of our ancestors. Chapter 6: The Evolution of Art in the Neolithic. With the advent of the Neolithic, a period marked by the agricultural revolution, there was a substantial transformation in artistic expressions. This change reflects an evolution in the social, economic, and spiritual structures of human communities. While Paleolithic art focused on hunting and the representation of wild animals, Neolithic art reflects a closer connection with the land, agriculture, and community life. Pottery, textiles, and megalithic constructions are prominent examples of this transition, showing a diversification in forms of artistic expression and the materialization of culture and beliefs of the time. Pottery, one of the most notable innovations of the Neolithic, served not only for utilitarian purposes like storing food and cooking but also for rituals and funerary practices. The decoration of these pottery objects varied from simple geometric designs to elaborate scenes representing daily activities or cultural myths. These patterns and representations were a way to communicate the group's identity, beliefs, and relationship with the environment. The art of pottery became a medium for recording and transmitting cultural and social history. Textiles, another crucial element of Neolithic art, also reflect the evolution of technical skills and aesthetics. With the development of agriculture and the domestication of animals, materials like wool and flax became accessible, allowing for the creation of more sophisticated textiles. The patterns and colors in textiles served not only decorative purposes but could also indicate social status or group membership. Textiles, like pottery, were a tangible form of cultural expression and transmission of knowledge and traditions. Megalithic constructions, like menhirs, dolmens, and cromlechs, represent another significant aspect of Neolithic art. These stone structures, often of enormous dimensions and arranged in complex patterns, demonstrate not only impressive engineering skills and collective organization but also reflect spiritual beliefs and ritual practices. Theories about their purpose vary from astronomical observatories to temples or tombs, but what is undeniable is that these constructions were important centers for the communities that erected them. Megaliths and monuments are testimonies of a time when art, religion, and community life were deeply intertwined. Chapter 7: Megaliths and Monuments. In the Neolithic era, the construction of megaliths and monuments marked a milestone in the history of art and civilization. These stone structures, like Stonehenge, reflect not only the technical skill and organizational prowess of the societies that built them, but also offer a window into their belief systems and social structures. Stonehenge, with its unique arrangement of stones, continues to fascinate both scientists and historians, raising theories about its purpose and meaning. Some suggest it served as an astronomical calendar, a place of worship, or even a space for rituals related to life and death. The precision in the alignment of the stones with key astronomical events suggests advanced knowledge of the sky and its cycles. The construction of these monuments required not only technical knowledge but also great community coordination. The transportation and placement of massive stones implied complex social organization and collective effort, indicating a high degree of social cohesion and hierarchy within these communities. Moreover, the use of local stones or those transported from long distances reveals an in-depth bond with their environment and an understanding of the natural resources available. Beyond their imposing physical presence, megaliths and monuments were centers of cultural and spiritual activity. They could have served as places for ceremonies, celebrations, and gatherings, playing a crucial role in the social and spiritual life of the community. Theories suggest that these spaces were not merely funerary or commemorative but places where beliefs, traditions, and collective identity were articulated and reinforced. These monuments are important not only for their historical and archaeological value but also for their enduring legacy. They continue to inspire awe and admiration, connecting us to our Neolithic past in a tangible and powerful way. Studying them allows us to better understand how prehistoric communities viewed the world, their place in it, and how they expressed these perceptions through the construction of monuments that have defied the passage of time. Chapter 8: The Art of War and Peace. Prehistoric art, with its wide spectrum of representations, includes elements as varied as decorated weapons and tools, as well as artifacts associated with peace and fertility. Weapons and tools were not only fundamental for survival but also served as symbols of status and power. The decoration of these objects, often with meticulous and detailed engravings, reveals a fusion between functionality and symbolism. This suggests that war and hunting were not just practical activities, but also rituals loaded with meaning. On the other hand, art associated with peace and fertility shows a different facet of these cultures. Female figures, representations of animals, and objects associated with agriculture and gathering highlight the importance of fecundity and harmony with nature. These artifacts, often found in settlements or tombs, indicate a concern for the life cycle, rebirth, and the prosperity of the community. The balance between representations of war and peace reflects a comprehensive understanding of life, where survival, conflict, and harmony coexisted and influenced each other. A detailed analysis of these objects also offers clues about the division of roles and the social structure in these communities. For example, weapons might have been used exclusively by certain members of society, while objects related to fertility and agriculture might be more associated with domestic or communal roles. This differentiation of roles, reflected in the art, helps us understand how these societies were organized and functioned. This provides a unique perspective on the concerns, beliefs, and structures of ancient societies. Through these artifacts, we can glimpse the complexity of prehistoric life, where the struggle for survival, the celebration of life, and the quest for balance were integral to the human experience. These objects are not just relics of the past. They are silent narrators of stories about how our ancestors faced and made sense of the challenges and wonders of their world. Chapter 9: The Influence of Nature in Prehistoric Art. Prehistoric art is a faithful reflection of the intrinsic relationship between human beings and their natural environment. Over time, climatic fluctuations, such as glaciations and interglacial periods, not only altered landscapes and ecosystems but also changed ways of life, migrations, and consequently, the artistic manifestations of our ancestors. Prehistoric art, therefore, is not only a testimony to human creativity but also an indicator of environmental changes and cultural adaptations. Artistic representations varied significantly in response to these environmental changes. For example, during glaciations, paintings and sculptures tended to focus on the hunting of large mammals, reflecting the challenges of survival in colder and more hostile environments. With the shift to warmer climates, representations diversified, including a wider variety of animal species and scenes of daily life. This suggests a change in diet, activities, and possibly the social structures of human groups. The way natural environments and animals were represented in prehistoric art gives us clues about our ancestors' perception and knowledge of their world. The detail and precision in the representation of different animal species indicate not only detailed observation but also an understanding of their importance within the ecosystem. This reflects a deep connection and respect for nature, essential for the survival and well-being of these communities. Chapter 10. The Enduring Legacy of Prehistoric Art. Prehistoric art, with its enigmatic caves, statuettes, and reliefs, constitutes the cradle of artistic expression and establishes an enduring link with our ancestral past. This legacy, immersed in the depths of time, continues to influence and fascinate in the modern era, providing us with a unique perspective on our cultural and artistic roots. Works of prehistoric art are not merely relics of the past, they are living testimonies of human evolution, both in terms of cognitive capacity and aesthetic sensibility. This is manifested in several dimensions. First, in the academic and scientific realm, prehistoric art is an invaluable source of information about the lives and times of our ancestors. Studies of these works have revealed not only technical and aesthetic skills but also belief systems, social structures, and interactions with the environment. Second, in the cultural and artistic sphere, prehistoric art continues to inspire artists, writers, and filmmakers, evoking a sense of connection with a mystical and ancestral past. Furthermore, prehistoric art plays a crucial role in education and heritage awareness. Museums and archaeological sites worldwide allow people of all ages and backgrounds to directly experience these works, promoting a more profound understanding of human history and its cultural roots. These experiences educate and foster a sense of wonder and an appreciation for the creative and adaptive capacity of humans throughout the millennia.